In a world where magic and technology grow hand in hand, a young sky pilot accidentally murders hundreds of people and sets off on a journey of redemption. This eventually leads to a battle involving gods and a plot spanning countless generations. The storyline involves many interesting characters. Personally, liked everybody. Rob easily being the worst and Tom K being the king of kings. Obviously. Aside from many biases for each character's development, aside from the main characters, was down to earth and understandable. Each one had an interesting piece to add to the world, teaching valuable lessons. Yeah. They weren't boring and took some risk. And in fact, the entire game took some major storytelling risk that we must admit would have never expected.
I practiced for this my entire life. No, don't take that out of context. Why is it so long? Oh my god, why is... Oh shit.
But instead of feeling overwhelmed or forced, we brought some cool ideas and set up for fun scenarios in the next possible game. Side quests connected to the main storyline pretty well. They are each meaningful and not only add to the lore of the world, but give you some pretty worthwhile loot. Yeah, the act of exploration was nothing but a pleasure. Every map was well crafted to pique your curiosity. From the monsters themselves to the magic of exploration rewards you. Explanation as to why certain creatures roam the area and magical happenings kept us drawn and coming back discovering the world's secrets. This supports our style very much because we tend to waste time feeding our curiosities in a well put together world. This becomes better with the introduction of sky armors, machines that allow you to fly over the field anytime you wish, even fighting simple monsters and allowing you to fight bigger, stronger ones. This depth to experiencing the world was worthwhile. Suits like your character requires weapon and armor, but combat is carried out pretty much the same way. It's a traditional turn-based strategy game, and the gimmick is the overdrive system. Every attack you do pushes the gauge forward. While in the green, you do extra damage, and when you're in the red, your attacks cost more and you take more damage. Every character from how we tested it has at least 3 to 4 different ways to be played, and we must admit a big chunk of our time on the game was experimenting with what we could do and never found ourselves disappointed. So that brings us to what is bad about this game. Honestly, not too much. Nothing about this game was bad, but there were a few annoying areas. The biggest offender was manipulating the crystals in your armor and weapons. You each get to hold up to 3 crystals of varying sizes. Then if you're anything like my meat bag, you'll be enjoying the ideas of mixing and matching your skills or just replacing them for better ones. Problem is, you can't remove one at a time. You need to remove them all, then put them in one by one. Again and again and again and again. Some of those days when editing our characters, it would take nearly an hour to fit them, and I'm not joking. Sometimes it would take an hour to fit them with whatever strategy we happened to think about at that time. Aside from that, we only experience a single bug. The story starts moving very fast around midway point. To be honest, a few things I still don't exactly understand, but if we didn't play the game in a way that gave us a lot of space to think about things, we would probably be overwhelmed. It's also pretty obvious that some of the answers we are going to be in the second game, so some curiosities do not get sated. Many of my burning questions ended up being tied to how echoes work, and with that explanation felt fairly satisfying. Otherwise, the ending was so over the top. For the context, I wouldn't be surprised if many people didn't agree, as it was pretty controversial. But I felt with the themes and the chaos of the main character went through, it was an excellent direction to take it, and once again, commending them for taking the risk, not just with the end of the game, but throughout the entire game. So, what do you say? What's the final score looking like?
Really?
A big fat 8. That is well deserved. The story started off simple and then took you to places. It took some major risk, especially at the end, but I thought they paid off with the impact while answering important questions and grateful for doing something that wasn't typical. Music was nice and refreshing and fit every scenario while not being the greatest themes or score I ever heard. They fit well when farming or just enjoying the world. The visuals are beautiful, really capturing the nostalgia of older RPGs. Loving leaves falling, the little dogs I can pet. Fuck those cats. The sound effects and the weird NPCs and some of the action scenes looked fantastic for this style. The gameplay is absolutely where the game shines, for combat to the world discoveries to the stat system. And at the same time, this is where the biggest gray areas of the game for us showed its ugly head. Bonus points to replay value. From playing with a single set of people to setting weapons and armor in ways to challenge for yourself with many mixes. Then another point for truly throwing us for a loop despite raising more questions left us satisfied. The devs for this game truly created something special, and I'm now very excited for the next game in the series, or anything else that they have planned. In fact, right as we finished this, we found out they released the DLC for this game, so we can't wait to tackle that. I believe the echoes of our nostalgic RPG spirits are with them. Without being chained to the shadows of the past, let's hope they continue to evolve their taste in the genre.